What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. It's at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. The link will be in the description box below, as usual. Title of this one is The Disingenuous Sellout. I'm going to touch on a lot of different things so people can understand where I'm coming from. But there are a lot of sellouts in our community. And one thing that bothers me about these people is them being disingenuous. And you can sell out in plenty of different ways, in my opinion. You know, so let's just get into it. So you got the person that we call the regular person we call a sellout who likes to uh, demonize all black people and maximize all black things that we do uh, that are dysfunctional, and then marginalize our excellence while praising others for their excellence and marginalizing their dysfunction. And it's quite disingenuous because the way they go about doing it is, you know, they're walking, living double standard. Who's always wanna, who always pull out the cape for for non-black people, but pull out the shotgun for black people to point at black people rather. You know, this come to my opinion when I saw the thing with Jason Whitlock. So to me, that's a sellout move. You know, when you're disingenuous about the circumstances surrounding something, and you allow one group of people off the hook for their disrespect, dysfunction, and degenerative behavior, and hold people to this higher standard while giving them this unrealistic expectation of class yet and fear and servitude that doesn't really exist. You're an asshole, you know. And maybe I should just start talking more bluntly when I start getting into this stuff. So I'm gonna do that now. Another person that I feel is a sellout is the person who does the complete fucking opposite. You know, the type of person that will excuse all bad black behavior, rationalize it all, right? But then at the same time, you know, dump every ill of the black community of people's bad choices and bad decision making on other people. And it becomes disingenuous when there are certain times you can't do that. Certain actions and choices and interactions have nothing to do with how can I say this? Have nothing to do with external racism and white supremacy and all that stuff. Sometimes it has to do with just internal beef, you know. So I don't. To me, those people are disingenuous because you can't, you know, you can't say on one hand these people who are non-black need to, need to take responsibility for their actions and the ramifications and the repercussions that it causes, even on the trickle down effect. And then when it's somebody black, say no, 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 no. They don't need to take responsibility. It's somebody else's fault. I think that's a sellout move. I think it's disingenuous. Um, the disingenuous sellout. Sometimes, you know, when we talk about black relationships, I think it's they're disingenuous sellouts when you're saying, you know, black women have all these issues, black men have all these issues, and the answer to curing all your issues is being with somebody who's not black. And all of a sudden, that's just gonna cure all of your ills when it comes to relationships, without even into putting in the facts of you're gonna have to deal with issues being an inter-ethnic, interracial couple. That guess what? You're gonna still deal with racism, not just from the black side, but from whatever the non-black side is, and that's gonna have an effect on your relationship. The way society treats you is gonna have an effect on your relationship. It's gonna be a whole other can of worms you got to deal with when you do this stuff. But you know what? You don't want to fucking say that because you're being disingenuous. Because what you're saying is you ain't taking shit from somebody black, but you'll take everybody else's shit who is not black. I think that's very disingenuous. Um, we got the disingenuous sellouts when it comes to, how can I say this? Let's just go with business or commerce or unity, support, however you want to fucking slice it, right? We always talking about we need to stick together, we need to unify, we need to support each other. And I think it's disingenuous because if we got to keep saying that and not making any efforts whatsoever to support each other or plug each other, shout out each other, uh, give each other a minute of attention or thank each other, or just be cordial to each other, even if we don't disagree. But then turn around, or if people have products and we have the finances to spend on those products, and then we come up with excuses to not do it, I think we selling out. That's disingenuous because when the shoe's on the other foot, we got no problem supporting white people. We got no problem supporting Asian people. We got no problem supporting Hispanic people or Muslim people or Arab people. So when you're doing that, you're a sellout. When you need all of these guarantees and stipulations when it comes to somebody black, and it has to be served this way, and it has to look this way, and sound this way, and smell this way, and it has to last 472 years, but you can buy a piece of shit for somebody who's non-black all the fucking time. Your house is full of shit. Your homes is full of shit that you bought from non-black people. That's pieces of shit that don't work, that didn't do what they were supposed to do. And you don't fucking complain about none of that shit. I think that's a disingenuous sellout move. You know, I think it's disingenuous when we support other people to a degree we don't support ourselves. I think that's just disingenuous. I think it's a sellout move. You know what? And I'm gonna go into that on a unity scale. I think you're a disingenuous sellout when you celebrate everybody else's holidays. Just my opinion. When St. Patrick's Day come around, you got your St. Patrick stuff out. You know, Cinco de Mayo, you a black Mexican. Yom Kippur, you Yom Kippur, right? You know, who? I mean, Asian New Year, you might be that. You probably that too. Um, when what is it? 4th of July? Oh, you there? You all in it. But when it comes to Martin Luther King Day, not a peep out of you. Black History Month, not a peep out of you. Christmas, or fake ass Christmas and Thanksgiving, yep, you gonna let's celebrate, let's give thanks and everybody. You gonna celebrate Kwanzaa? Nah, we don't do that black shit. I think you a sellout. I mean, be honest with yourself. If you gonna celebrate one, celebrate them all. Cause if you notice, Hispanic Heritage Month, yeah, yeah, Viva la raza. You got black people doing this shit, right? Asian heritage, yay! I mean, fuck. I don't know if they have a gay heritage day. Dudes be walking around in rompers and chickens will be walking around in suits looking like Ellen DeGeneres. Yay! But when it come to your own, you ain't acting like that. And I gotta make that point because when it comes to knowledge of ourselves and our culture, I find it is disingenuous. We have disingenuous sellouts who know everything about everybody else's culture and span your horizons, travel, and become a better person and do this and do that. But you don't know shit about your own culture and your own history. You didn't put the effort into traveling your own history and culture and expanding your mind, knowing what our achievements are because you got people of other races trying to pimp our achievements and use um, our achievements as their stepping stone, and we just sitting there like, what's going on? Because you don't know your own history. They know their history, and they know our history. Why would you a sellout when you know everybody else's history and you disingenuous and you don't know shit about yourself? You know, it's my opinion. Another problem that I can for sure talk about is you a disingenuous sellout when you love everybody else that doesn't look like you, but you have this underlying animosity for everybody who looks like you. It's very cut and dry. You know, don't if every black person got to be the second coming of God for you to respect them, and every non-black person could be the devil's third cousin, but they not black, so they cool though. You're a disingenuous sellout. You know, and that goes the same way when people with their families. You know, you're welcoming strangers into your family over your family that's been actually, putting in work for you. You know, and I'm not talking about the people that are family members who ain't shit. I'm talking about the people who actually been putting it down for you. You just push them to the side for some new stranger that doesn't look like y'all. I think that's a disingenuous sellout. You know, let's go back to education a little bit before I get out of here with this one. For all you people who like going to predominantly uh, white institutions and then shitting on people who went to HBCUs, you're a disingenuous sellout because the books are the same. But to say I graduated from this predominantly white institution, so it makes me better than you because you graduated from this historically black institution, when the information is the same. But you know what's the difference is the people that graduated from these HBCUs is different from you most of the time. They didn't have to deal with the racism that you had to deal with. And on top of that, they don't have to pay out the high number of student loans that you do. So you comfortable getting called a nigga every day and and getting treated like shit. And don't say you intermingle with the campus on those predominantly white institutions. You fucking don't. You stay to your own culture and your own for the most part. Everybody does that. It's nothing personal. It's just a tribal thing. So then when you get their degree and it's overpriced, you don't say, man, if I went to HBCU, I'd probably be paying student loans would probably be half as this with the same fucking degree. I wouldn't support them HBCUs. I wouldn't. Something wrong with them people. Something wrong with you paying double to get treated like a piece of shit. But you disingenuous by saying that education is greater than the other one. Really, is not. Like I said before, the information is the same. They all got the same books, and that's a fact. So that's just my opinion on the disingenuous sellout. We out.